Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Dave Brink of Genuine Comics. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm a bit tired, but I'm good, man. I'm really good. We
That's six.
launched a few hours back and we're already funded, so I'm fantastic.
Oh, good for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave asked if I could launch his, and I, if we could launch his campaign on my channel, and of course I said yes, but I had to work overtime, and I just feel so bad. I want to help out Dave, one of my favorite people, and then Perfect 10, one of my favorite comics. So I was like, how about midnight tonight when I come home from work?
Yeah,
I'm going to work tomorrow
yeah,
too.
thank
I
you.
don't have weekends anymore. I work. I just work. I work and I make comics, and I still have my comics come out on time. How's that?
Yeah, it's crazy. How do you do it, man?
Just you
How do you
just
do it?
you got to budget your money, and you got to budget your time.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I,
And we're not even like you're not even one of the like you're doing good, but it's
yeah.
not like you bring in the funds the big guys do, right? And
Yeah. Well. Yep. Yeah. Well.
one day, John.
One day. Just keep
Yeah,
at it. Keep chugging
yeah.
away. I'm 2 years in. This is my second year in making comics. Let's see what happens in 20. How many years have you been making comics?
Um, uh, I, it kind of depends how you look at things. When we go, so the reboot of Jamin Comics was in 2014, but I had made comics in the 90s. Although I do think we kind of can disregard that because it was very amateurish. It was very goofy, but it's still kind of part of the learning process.
So when you made comics in the 90s, how did you do it? Like you went through a distributor and everything, like the classic way.
No, no, we were still students. So it was just it was kind of a hobby project with a group of students. And so we did everything ourselves. We just printed the books and we sold them at conventions.
Oh,
Yeah,
do you still do conventions?
I still do conventions, not as many. First off, there aren't as many here in the Netherlands, and those there are often pretty expensive to get a table, so it's not really worth it. Um, but there is at least one that I'm doing this year. I'm doing three,
Okay.
so that's for me. That's plenty. Yeah, I
When are you going
should.
to come to America and do some conventions?
Yeah, I'd love to, man. I'd love to, but
I
it's
I, I haven't done any yet. And Vaughn Coleman lives not too far away from me, and he's doing all the conventions. And I have a job that keeps me busy. I can't take off. Like, I'm a construction worker. I'm an electrician. So
mhm,
for me to take off, I lose my pay,
mhm.
and then I got to show. So I just can't do it. It's just too much money for me. You know what I mean? So I will, but I have vacation now. When I had my accident, I was out of work for 8 months. I used up 2 years worth of time off. So
Yeah.
now everything's finally back to normal. I'm
Mhm.
gonna I'm gonna take vacation now. I think I'm gonna do Heroes Con in North Carolina.
Oh, cool.
Everybody's going.
Hills Calm. That's a big one, right?
Yeah,
That's a big
that's a
event.
big one. Everybody says it's pure comics. So
Mhm.
I'll go. I'll see if I can table with somebody. See if share a table with anybody. I
Cool.
was planning on going to MegaCon and meeting everybody and everything, but it just snuck up on me, and I'm not prepared to do it. But I'd like to. But anyway, we're talking about you. You just launched the campaign.
I
What are you
have.
going on over there?
I launched it a few hours back. So I just had some sleep. So yeah, but yeah, the so we launched a few hours back and we funded within 2 hours.
Oh my God, great!
Yeah, really awesome, guys. Uh, you never know how these things go. Because we already had this on Fund My Comic a few months back, right?
All right, I backed John Fund my comic.
Yes, yes. So you don't know what happens. Um, but yeah, people showed up, man. Really cool. So in dollars, it's 3,500 now in dollars. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, you get it. You get it. What's the money called over there?
Yeah, we have euros.
Oh, you have euros. So how many euros is it over there? I don't even know the convert. I'm a typical American. I don't speak any
Yeah.
foreign languages. I don't understand anybody else's money.
It's just about 3,000 euros.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we
So
use.
So I'm going to play dumb here. I know exactly what this is, but I'm going to play dumb. So tell me, what is this? What are we celebrating over here? What are we selling?
So what we're selling is a comic book in the style of American superhero comics. I'm from Europe. I grew up reading American comics. I grew up reading plenty of other comics, but American superhero comics, that was my jam. I really loved that. And I knew I wanted to do something with that. So when I started to make comic books, they were American style, format, superhero stuff. So I'm building a superhero universe, a lot of characters, but the Perfect 10 series focuses primarily on the one character called 10. She wakes up in this universe. She doesn't know who she is, what she's doing there, and she has to discover what her role is in this superhero universe while the story takes place. So it's a lot of action. It's very action oriented, very action packed. It's a non-stop roller coaster for 6 issues. 6 issues. So issue 6 we finalized a few weeks back. That's done. That's printed. I have it right here. It's right here. I shipped it out to Critical Blast. Critical Blast.
That means we'll be getting it soon. Critical Blast is awesome.
Yeah. They told me they received the boxes a few days ago. So, and they are working on the Perfection Collection, which is the collected edition of all 6 issues, which completes the story. So 6 issues tells the complete first arc of Perfect 10. And Critical Blast wanted to publish this like a few years ago, and they kept asking with issue 4, can we do it now? No, it's not done yet. With issue 5, can we do it now? No, it's not done yet. So now finally, this is my first trade paperback, guys. This is so cool. It's 192 pages at least, because we are adding some extra material for you lovely backers. But yes, the complete story, it contains all the covers we made, so all the variant covers will be in there. It's the complete book, the complete saga in one massive hardcover or softcover, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I ordered the hardcover. I ordered issue 6, and then I ordered the hardcover.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I got to get the floppies, but I also had to get this in hardcover. This is my favorite superhero comic coming out.
Thank you.
I hope that my superhero comics are as good as yours someday. That's my goal is to get as good as you someday. But look at that! Look at that cover. So so you did a really good thing. So 10 is an android or synthetic human being. I forget the exact term, but she wakes up and she's a tabula rasa. She doesn't know if she's a good guy. She doesn't know if she's a bad guy. She doesn't know who the good guys are, the bad guys are. So we're learning as she's learning, and it's pretty engaging. I like that.
Yeah, she has this moral framework, and it's not really clear where it comes from. So some people tell her why we don't know why you think different from the other synthoids. So there were multiple synthoids from this project called the Perfection Program, and all of them got killed basically, and she's the last one left. She's the 10th. So her name is 10. She doesn't have a name. She's basically a number. So the villain's reminder. She's a number, and that has its reason also. But so cool. And I didn't know the story would become 6 issues. It would become this massive. When we started, I started with 1, and I was like, okay, we can make 1 book with the artist Pau. I was a huge fan of Pau, and I didn't know if Pau wanted to stay on. So I wrote the first issue in such a way that we could leave it there if Pau wanted to move on, But Pau wanted to continue. So we added more story, and I thought we can finish the story in 3 issues Well, that didn't happen. So and we added another issue. So as I was writing, things began to expand and grow, and I had to give everything its time and room. And I feel with 6 issues, we got everything in there with with a lot of breathing room, because issue 6 is like the calmest issue. So things finally calm down. So it's like action packed, all 5 issues, and then finally in issue 6 we finally get to calm down and wrap things up.
It's like a freight train. Like,
Yeah.
I got to reread it in one sitting. But how much, like in the comic, how much time actually passes? It's not a lot of time.
No, it's. I think it's just 2 days.
Right? Yeah, it's 2 days, 6 issues, and it's like you're exhausted reading. Everybody's running around. There's explosions. There's superhero fighting. It's like, it's nonstop.
Yeah. Plus because the story takes place in several locations across the world. I had to, because I love to switch locations as often as possible within.
Yeah, that's one of my weaknesses. Is I stay at a location through the whole story. I got to, I became aware of that after.
And I had to. So you see, like sometime in one location, it's day, and sometimes it's night. So you can actually see time pass. Yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. It's like I can't even believe we pulled this off, because it's to reach 6 issues from campaign to campaign, hoping that doing your best to gather the funds to make the next one. Then you work with a creative team. You don't know what they want, but it's still the same creative team. So for all these years, Pau, Daniel, Joel, and myself have been working together on this series. I'm so proud of this. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love your characters. How many superheroes and supervillains do you know offhand? Because offhand, I'm going to say more than I could shake a stick at. That's the closest I could gather. But there's got to be 30 or so costume characters in this.
Oh, in this series, yeah, at least there are more, because the villains, once they arrive, there's this big showdown with in issue 4, 5, and you have 27 villains, and then you have the heroes, and heroes are also with 6, plus then you have 10, which is, so you have more than 30 for that sequence, and then you have some other characters that go in and out. So I think maybe together 45, 50 characters throughout this entire series.
I just wrote a story, and I just sent Renzo the script. It's 22, 25 pages, and there's about 30 different superheroes and
holy shit, yeah,
villains. Yeah. And I said, this is because of Dave Brink.
Oh really? Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a real challenge to get it all to work, to get all the parts moving, and but for this story it was essential that there were so many characters, because that is part of the story.
Right. Look at this.
And other this is a brand new character. So while I was writing issue 6, I came up with this new character, and I thought he was so cool. I just had to have him in the book, and he also made sense in this story. So I thought of him while writing because he made sense for the story. So I basically created a new character on the spot, and we designed him and put him in there. And within 2 days, we had this brand new character.
What's his name?
Cerulean.
Okay.
Yeah, that has a reason why he's called that. I don't want to go too much into his story.
Yeah. You want to reveal him in the story. I understand.
Yeah, and it's there is this. So the weird thing is, sometimes you get this when you have a brand new idea for a character. Immediately you know his entire story. So,
yep.
And this is the case for him also. So he he appears in his book, but he has the bigger story that I'm hoping to tell later on.
I know exactly. I was reading this comic book, Mr. X, and I came up with a villain, and I'm not even telling anybody his name yet because it'll be so long before he's in a comic. And just from his name, I knew everything about him. And then I posted on Twitter. I just came up with a cool villain. And now, just driving home from work, I came up with another villain that, I wish if I won the Powerball and had so much money, I would have a whole team of artists because like you just created a character and he's already in your book. I just created 2 villains, and now I want to have these stories where all my guys go and beat them up.
It's a blessing and a curse, John,
Yeah.
because it really helps when your mind like comes up with all this stuff. But every concept will require you hours and a lot of money and to develop, to put out there. And so sometimes I just want to calm down with the new characters, just focus on what you got, but you can't help it, man.
Yeah, I write them down and maybe I'll sketch them out. Well, I make like character sheets for them for a role-playing game, Villains and Vigilantes. Yeah. And then I have them on loose leaf, and I have maybe on the back of the sheet I'll draw them, and that way I don't forget them. But yeah, whether or not they'll make it into a comic book.
Yeah, I have this Excel sheet with all the names, and then a simple description of the powers for brand new characters. And sometimes I browse through that list to see if there's something that I can use at that moment. If not, I just create a new character.
Well, I'm working on a role-playing system, a superhero role-playing system, and I was thinking maybe make like magazine-sized. I'll do one, just the rules, and then the follow-up will be like character sheets. So if you're interested, maybe one day we'll collaborate. We'll make stats for your characters too,
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And that's then this book, so you can actually use for the game, right?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Oh, so you I mean, I love talking to you because you're like so fanatical about coming up with characters, and you got so many characters and they're so cool and everything, but you don't draw. So me and you are in the same boat. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So when you come up with the character, do you know who they're gonna, Dr. Octopus fights Spider-Man? Do you know who the arch enemy is? Like the 2 villains. I came up with 2 villains today, and one of them has to fight the Public Eye. It'll just be the coolest fight, and then the other one has to fight my magician character, the Metaphysician. Like, is now your characters, your villains, Calamity. When you made up Calamity, was it like she has to fight 10? 2 hot chicks fighting? It just has to be that way, or could she have fought anybody?
Essentially she can fight anybody because she doesn't have this personal relationship with 10 or history or whatever. So this is one of the remarkable things of the Perfect 10 story is she doesn't have a arch nemesis yet, like Batman has his Joker,
Right.
That's because she doesn't. That's the feeling that I try to evoke when people read the stories, that she doesn't belong in this universe. So she doesn't have her own like enemies, friends, allies.
She doesn't have a history. We're literally seeing her entire life.
Yes, so that might develop. I would love to give her a specific villain, but so far she's new. So this has to happen later. But Calamity is basically the leader of this large group of villains that joined together, right? So like some sort of mafia with superpowers, and she's their queen. So she's basically everyone's villain, but but she gets to deal with 10 personally. While she might underestimate 10 because she's very powerful and she has some stature, and so that dynamic is really cool. But usually when I have new characters, I don't really have like their nemesis. Like it's whatever fits.
Right. We got 58 Underground says, "Hey guys, congrats on the successful launch day. Perfect 10 is a great book. Love the entire story." Yeah, everybody loves it.
Thank you, man.
Everybody loves it. And Zach 10 with the drive.
Zach 10.
I always get nervous until I get the blessing from Zach 10. I'm like, where is he? What if I'm not blessed? What happens? I don't want to find out.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
To fund it in 2 hours. That's awesome. I mean, look at this artwork. It's fair to say that the art is reminiscent of a 90s image.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a reason that I hired Pau. I followed him. His art style is it has a little bit of a Madureira, Roger Cruz from the 90s like vibe going on. I really like that, and that's his biggest inspiration. Also, he told me.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I try to make the comics that I want to read, that I want to buy, that I want to invest money and time in, and so it has to look like the comics that I like, and so Madureira, I liked him, like the Jim Lee, that 90s style, I really dig that. So I try to get that in the Jamin Comics books.
Right. That's what I've been saying this for a while. Your comics remind me of Image style, but with actual writing, with actual story to them, with actual characterization. They're not just pinups and and splash pages like I don't know. I'm an older fart, so I'm not the biggest 90s Image guy. By the time the 90s came, I was rolling my eyes. There was a lot of good stuff. Don't get it wrong, but I wasn't a big fan of just everybody posing and Rob Liefeld completely out of proportion.
I'm now doing a book with Alan Goldman, and he is that's probably the most 90s book that we ever made.
The pencils that you've been showing look so good.
Yeah.
Power Roderick is amazing. I love this. It's just a spectacle to look at. Daniel, is this all Daniel coloring?
Yeah, Daniel's the colorist throughout the entire series.
Yeah, this looks. I mean, look at this page.
This is what I like also. When you change locations, Daniel can play around with other color palettes and surroundings, and that makes for a more interesting book also.
Yeah, I got to work on that. I got to work on changing up the locations. So far everything's been. This is where the story happens. I got to work on that. I got to work. I tried to draw that way. I just understand the inking process. So this is Arkham. He's working for me. He's drawn one of my stories, like Greek. A husband and wife archaeologists. They find Greek artifacts and become, and they find that there's something wrong with the universe. That I realize I have a grand scheme in my stories, but I'm not dropping enough clues. So I made up this story. I think I talked to you about this. I went to bed one night and I woke up with two fully formed stories in my head. Literally, one of them I just had to tweak minor, but the one that Arkham's drawing is exactly what I dreamt. The other one, Luke Stone, is finishing up the story now. He is so quick.
That's crazy.
But I had to tweak that a little bit. But has that ever happened? Have you ever just woke up inspired and you just couldn't? Like I had to go to work and remember these two stories, come home and type them out before I forgot.
Yeah, I don't think I ever woke up with a complete story, but with concepts, yeah, sometimes at the middle of the night, but you need to write it down because otherwise you forget. And then you wake up and like I had the best idea ever and it's gone.
Right. I play idea Russian roulette. I tell myself if it's a good enough idea, I'll remember it when I come home from work.
Oh yeah.
And then
Okay.
when I sit in this chair, I'm like, what was that idea? And if I can remember it, it was, but I wonder how many really good ideas I just let dissolve. Look at this image right here. Oh, I thought I could click on it.
Yeah. Sorry, it isn't bigger, but there are throughout the series are several double-page spreads, which are
Oh,
which are all
okay. I was
fantastic.
going to ask you if that was a print. That's a double page spread.
Yes.
I'm going to make that bigger, just so as big as I can, just so people can see. Look at that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at that. Oh. What's the name of this character again? I know I'm going to say the wrong name.
The character up front is called Diabolique.
Yeah, I was going to say Diabolique. Yeah.
Yes.
She's a fan favorite, and I wonder why.
And I so the weird thing is that I had a completely different plan for this character than what actually happened within the series. And so that was basically, it started in issue 3. So she was created for a specific reason, and she still she now has a completely different reason. So it's really weird how these things go, but you have to, when you write, you know this, John, when you write, you have to make decisions constantly where things can go, and you have to predict which storyline gathers you the most potential for adventures, for cool things. And so, but this means you close other doors. So you close the road to specific ideas you can never like explore. And this is something, but sometimes it's a bit nerve-wracking, because I'm making the right decision here, but in her case, I'm really glad that I took the second road with her story.
Right. I know that we also talked about this, but because me and you, we have to pay the artist, pay the colorist, pay the, I don't know if you have a separate inker, but everybody has to get paid. So I always, do I need this in the story? Does this make the story better? Is this self-indulgence on my part? How can I tell this better? You know what I mean? So, it kind of, for me anyway, it kind of makes like, okay, I streamlined this story down. If I was a monthly Marvel Comics guy or something like that, I could probably add a little bit more fluff, but so I got like, this is like a Corvette. This is my story. Everything in there is needed. Do you have to work like that also?
Yeah, you want to get you don't want to have too much fluff in there, because every page matters, every panel should matter, not only because it costs you money, but also you don't want to waste the reader's time, you don't want to waste your own time. Every page is like real estate that you want to
Absolutely.
use. So sometimes you have to cut out things that you like, but they're not really necessary.
Oh yeah. I wanted to put, my character, the patriarch, he's a father and he's got a bunch of kids. I wanted to put a lot of family time, but it was, it killed me to get rid of it. But you got to. I forget if I was talking to you about this, but like somebody said, like, what's your writing process? And I said, the best way for me to describe it's like a chain. Each panel is a link. And does this link pull the next, you know what I mean? Like, does it get me to the next link? Does it get me to the next link? It has to be like a logic chain. Otherwise, like this panel doesn't do anything for the story. I can't use it, kind of thing. So that's the way I write. Just this gets me to here, gets me to here, gets me to here. And then, and each link in the chain has to be dynamic in its own little way. It has to convey information to service the story. I like this comment. It's hard having so many characters. You have a million characters, and you kept track of them. Do you have like a rotating 3D image in your head of in a fight scene of where all of these guys are, or did you just let Pow, this guy, fill the background with laser blasts and punches and stuff?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a combination. I don't want to control Pow too much or direct him too much, but I do want to control the story. So I had this, especially the scene in issue 4 and 5. You have this huge battle with all these characters. It's in total about 34 characters or something. and I had in the script I had color codes for characters, so I could see where everyone was, and that took some mental restraint to remind where everything is. So I kept going back to the story. Where's this guy? Where's this guy? All right, I need to have this guy there, because for specific scenes I needed specific characters in certain places, and then you have to figure out how they get there in a way that makes sense and is cool, and it was a huge puzzle, and it's not something I would do again anytime soon. But for this story, it really worked. But I had to work with colors also to make it easier on myself. Easier.
Yeah, I'm doing every Sunday. I've been doing a X-Men. I'm up to the Proteus story and Chris Claremont, John Byrne's X-Men, and the team now, like a couple of issues ago, like fighting Alpha Flight, there was like 12 or 13 characters, nowhere near 30 like you. And I was paying attention to the panels, like how did they choreograph this fight? And it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. And I also don't want to just make it, okay, Patriarch punches this guy, Patriarch punches that guy, Patriarch punches this, fight's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you worry about, is this fight ending satisfactory? Is this dynamic enough, or is it just punch, 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 punch? Okay, I'm tired of writing punches. I'm going to end the fight now. You know what I mean? Because ultimately we control everything that happens as the, you know. So do you come up with a clever solution for each fight, or just, you know?
I want to make use of the powers as much as possible. You have this vast array of different abilities, and you want to showcase them. So it's not just punching. Well, except when you have characters where punching is their power, right? But sometimes they have other things going on. You want to show that. You want to have the variety within you're working with superhero comics, so make the most of that. So show all these powers, and what I really love is when the powers offer like specific solutions to specific problems, or can defeat specific characters in specific ways. So getting creative with powers, that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's why when I came up with the villain, I'm like, oh, this villain has to fight the public eye, because he's the only one who'll figure this out.
Yeah,
you know, he's more of a detective, whereas the Patriarch is more of a, you know, a direct frontal assault guy. So do you have a bunch of superheroes? Do you have like, are you follow the archetypes? Like, do you follow like, okay, I need a detective, I need a flying strongman, I need a patriotic hero, you know, or do you just come up with it and whatever, let the chips fall where they may?
Yeah, I think when you work within superhero genre and you build your universe, you can't avoid archetypes. You accidentally make them also, and I did want, for instance, a patriotic character as a theme, because as a theme it's just cool, and you need one in your universe because you want this complete universe with all possibilities. So this is how American Bliss was created. And when it comes to making teams with characters, you want to have a variety. So automatically you have one guy is the strong guy, then you have the hot chick, and so you have a lot of variety visually, but also with powers, and you will get all the archetypes in somehow. It's because it's just part of the genre. Without the archetypes, the archetypes make the genre also, So.
Right. I agree. I think with superheroes, I think superheroes are the new mythology in a way, and if you look back at Greek mythology, they repeated a lot. They used archetypes. There was the strong guy, there was the crafty guy, there was the treacherous guy, there was the ultimate good guy kind of thing in mythology. In superheroes, I think it works like that. It works with tropes and archetypes, but the trick is a unique spin. Like your flying guy is a patriotic guy. You got the Flying Dutchman.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that guy. You know, and American Bliss is you don't just have the patriotic American superhero. You kind of have like a glamorous American superhero. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, man, it's and like the Flying Dutchman, he has a small role in this Perfect 10 series. I like to introduce characters to people throughout this series, but I when they show up, they must have some sort of role. They must have some sort of function within the story to drive the story forward or to give a new perspective or whatever. Um, so it's really cool to introduce new characters while also advancing the story through them.
yeah. I'm looking at all your covers. I mean, these covers sell themselves. Look at this. You know, Perfect 10. You know, look at that.
The
You know,
first two books, of Perfect 10 cover A and Perfect 10 2 cover A, they are all sold out. So you can't get those. They are reprinted, so there are new covers. And in the Perfection collection, you will get all the covers also. You have
there
a
you go.
cover gallery.
I one two. I think number 4 is at 4 and 5. I think are fan favorites. Everybody loves Calamity, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think look at this cover right here. That is so great. Now, excuse me. I have my rule is the interior artist does the cover,
Mhm.
and then if things are working out, I'll have a variant cover.
Mhm.
I'm going to try to limit it to just cover A, cover B for every campaign. Now, when you have a cover, do you design the cover? Did you tell Pow to draw this, or did he come up with that on his own?
It varies. For instance, with Perfect 10 Book 5, with the frontal shot of Calamity with the reflection of the
Yeah,
heroes, that was
that's
my idea.
okay.
I knew what I wanted. I told Pau, I sent him some examples of other covers that do that kind of thing, and I told him I wanted to have this with the reflection of the safeguard characters. So sometimes I just know, and other times I really don't. And Pau drew the story, and I was like, and I'm like, I don't really know what to do for the cover. That was the case for issue 4. And Pau said, I know something, and he came up with the layout for this specific cover, which is based on a X-Men cover from Jim Lee.
Yeah, I tell the artist, do what you think. You read the script. You spent more time drawing this comic than I spent writing it. So
Mhm.
you know it probably better than me, at least visually. So you draw what you think is a good cover. Keep in mind, we're trying to sell a comic here. Unless I have a concept that, oh man, this is the cover concept. I tell the artist to draw whatever they want.
Yeah,
Now Arkham over here, he's drawing. He just started drawing a cover. I just said, remember, you got the cover too, and you know, he sent me a couple. I said, this is better than anything I thought of. And then there's another artist that I'm working with. She wants me to describe everything. You know what I mean? So every artist is different. You know, Renzo, I just said, draw the cover, Renzo. He's like, okay, cool. His covers are amazing.
yeah.
I'm just, if you don't mind, I'm just going to show because Arkham sent me uh, an image. What? This is a panel for a monster that's in the story. Like, come on.
That's for Heroic Tales 3 or
Yeah,
something.
we don't know which issue it's going to be in yet. I got a bunch of people working on a bunch of stories. So this is a monster coming out of the water, Greek
Wow.
mythology. She has a specific name, and it's escaping me now. But she's like a serpentine creature. From her elbows, she's got hundreds of serpents.
Yeah, there is the Marvel character called Serpentina.
Yeah, Marvel has a
She
character
has
called
she
Serpent.
has snakes for arms also. Yeah.
Yes, but there's a Greek mythology name, and it's. I know as soon as I turn off the camera tonight, I'm going to remember her name. But
Oh yeah.
this husband and wife team, they find in Greek mythology the Grey sisters, they shared one eye and they shared one tooth.
Okay.
You know that story?
No.
They find the tooth in the eye, So the
Oh,
wife
cool.
takes the eye and he takes the tooth and he makes a spear out of it. So he's fighting, and then this thing is watching because she
That's
wants to watch.
great. That looks nice, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really nice.
This is Arkham's first comic book art.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
He was drawing, and my wife was upstairs watching us talk, and she sent me a message. I love that. So I was like, yeah. So he sent a couple of drawings. I was like, all right. I wrote a story for Brian Bow. We were going to work together, but he was like, he's literally, he goes, John, I'm drawing a Greek mythology story for somebody else right now. He goes, do you got anything different? So I was like, oh man. So I kind of shelved it, but I'm like, this story it tells something that needs to be told in my world. And then like literally 2 days later, I saw Arkham. I'm like, do you want to draw monsters? Because he's got all those squiggly lines that reminds me. Are you familiar with the old artwork Errol Otis for Dungeons and Dragons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, you remind me of Errol Otis's artwork from Dungeons and Dragons. I said, do you want to draw the story? It's basically a dungeon crawl, monsters in the dark and everything like that. And he draws such good backgrounds and very atmospheric. So, but he's a rookie, so he wants a lot of description and everything. So like Pow is a professional. Do you have to give him? Do you have to goad him? Do you have to coach him along the way?
No, usually no. No, he gets it.
Yeah,
he gets it. One time he drew a completely the wrong character in a scene, and I had to remind him this is not that character is supposed to be not. That happens sometimes, and then he has to redraw the character. And sometimes he gets. For issue 6, there was this scene where he drew the wrong character, and it was like 2 pages, and I told him, "Hey, Pow, I couldn't see from the sketches, so and then I received the whole pages, and it was done. It was already rendered and done and scanned and everything." And I was like, "Pow, this is the wrong character, sir." And he was like, "Oh no." So he asked me, "Can you rewrite it so this character is in there?" No, Pow, that doesn't work. That doesn't work that way. It needs to be the other character. So he tried to get out of redrawing it, but he had to.
I'm working with Marcus Kellegrew. He's drawing the Public Eye story, and he'll send me the unfinished sketches, and that's kind of the way I want to work with everybody. Like they send me the layouts, like unfinished layouts. I look at the script, and you must see this, that like the script said 4 panels, but the page now has 6 panels. Or the script said 6 panels and the page has 4. But like, okay, Renzo did this, Marcus did that. Marcus said it didn't flow well, so he added a couple of panels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's so cool. It's and it's good because the Public Eye talks a lot, so I get to break up this dialogue over more panels. So it all works out. But man, like, are you surprised a lot when you get the art?
Yeah. Oftentimes I get, because when you write, you do have you see it in your head, right? How things go, and
Arkham says he always adds panels. That's fine.
If it works, it works.
Well, sometimes too many panels gets in the way. Sometimes too many,
Yeah, I try to write scripts with pages with the least amount of panels possible. This makes it easier to add panels when required, but also when not. When you don't have to add extra panels, then Pow can really cut loose with the artwork. You have the room to work with,
Yeah.
And sometimes there's only one page. Yeah, there's one page in this book that has 35 panels, but that's a anomaly. That has a specific reason. And there is one page with 7 panels, but I keep it to the maximum of 6 usually.
I think I was on your show when I showed a page, and your only comment was the 17 panels.
Really?
But it was just like a roll call of all of these characters.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, for roll calls, this works. It's really cool. You have
right
all these phases. Yeah.
What is the maximum number of panels that you remember seeing in a comic?
Um,
I remember there was an issue of Grendel by Matt Wagner, and this was I think it was Comico. It shows you how long ago it was. So this was the early 80s.
mhm.
They had panels a little bit bigger than a postage stamp
Oh yeah.
on each page, and I'm gonna say there must have been 27 panels on each page, and it was
Wow.
just beautiful. Every page of this book looked, and I just remember not reading. I just didn't want to read that book. It just looked exhausting. You know,
Okay.
in between the panels was the writing, so it was a little postage stamp, and then in between was the writing. You know, no dialogue or anything, just like caption, caption, caption.
Oh right.
And I was
Yeah.
just like, this is just too much. I bought it, bagged it, bought the next issue. It was a regular comic, and I avoided it. And then one day, it always stuck back on my mind that there's in my box there's a comic that I never read. So I finally, years later, took it out, and it was amazing. But it was an experiment. But that was the exception. 27 panels per page,
Yeah, that's crazy.
and you see what it did to me. It made me not want to read it.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it has it probably had a specific reason that the writer was going for. A
Right?
specific
Yeah.
the,
It
there's this one scene in Invincible. I really love that series. It's
yeah.
where Mark.
Your books remind me of Invincible, the Invincible
Yeah,
world.
I think I got a lot of writing cues from Robert Kirkman. But there is this scene in Invincible where Mark spends time with his daughter, and it's like 2 pages. It takes place throughout the day, and each page has 16 panels, 16 small panels without words. So you just see them go through the day doing things, and that works very well in that case. And then you turn the page, and you have one big splash page with action. So you have to balance that out.
Yeah. Do you have the double page spread? You know, just 2 pages that is just one gigantic panel. You know, that was Image Comics. I always thought that was like
Yeah.
when that works, because I do have a couple of double page spreads.
Mhm.
You know, in the scripts coming up, but I think it's to show the majesty and grandeur of what's going on. I thought the early Image, they were just like, I could sell these 2 pages for a fortune, or I'm tired of this
Yeah.
comic. I could just fill it up with double page spreads and fill it up.
Yeah, it was more like with they just wanted to draw the spectacle, and they kind of created the story around that instead of the other way around, right? So you can see that.
Yeah, the Watchmen. People forget that the Watchmen had 9 panels on every
Oh yeah,
page.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Keith Giffen did 6-page panels a lot. That was a lot of his standard in the Legion of Superheroes.
Mhm.
6 panel grids, and Kirby. People, I don't know if people remember, but Jack Kirby's default was 6 panels per page,
Mm.
and then he would change it, but he would make one panel slightly bigger. It wasn't a 6-panel grid,
Sure.
you know, but it was 6 panel. I like when I start a page, I don't know how many panels are going to be up, but I in my mind, I always tell myself five. That's just
Yeah.
5 panels per page. It's also, but
Yeah. I have 6 is my max, and if I can do it in less, then less. The less, the better. But there's one page, and I had to do 7 panels in this issue, in issue 6. I had to. I tried. I tried to figure out how to fit what I wanted to tell in 6 panels. I just couldn't. So it was 7 for the exception. But Pau did a fantastic. This was actually one of the few pages that I did the layout for,
okay.
because Pau couldn't figure things out with the layout. He made this layout. It didn't really work. Then he made another one. Didn't work. And I was like, Pau, let me try something. So and he took my layout, and that worked.
Right.
But sometimes you have to puzzle these things together.
Yeah, Luke Stone is just about done with my Sleeper Agent story. And yeah, and I actually asked Dave if I could use the name Sleeper. I've had this character for years in my role playing game, and then Dave made a book called the Sleep Agent, right? Not Sleeper Agent, just
Dream Girl Sleeper Agent.
Yeah. So this is just the Sleeper Agent, and looks nothing like Dream Girl. You know, he's a guy in a t-shirt. But so I asked Dave if you mind, and he said no, because you came out with it first. So I actually had to draw out. I just drew out the panels with stick figures, you know, and everything like that, because I just couldn't describe how I wanted. Normally, I just tell the artist, like Arkham's here, I just say panel 1 looks like this, panel 2 this, panel 3, and then I put all the dialogue in the script so he knows how much words are going to be in there. So like, you know, he could leave a corner a little blank because he knows that that's going to be where the word balloon goes. Mm-hmm. But this page, I just couldn't really describe it, so I drew it. And Luke, man, he's got the patience of a saint. You know, he did like rough layouts like 3 or 4 times, and then finally, I was like, when it was done, it looks 90% of what I was picturing in my. There's always going to be some difference.
Sure.
But it's so satisfying to be like, I thought of this, and that's a big pet peeve of mine is people need to convey information. Like when I'm telling a story, my story needs to convey information to the reader. My script has to convey information to the artist. You know, I'm at work at construction. I'm with my partner. I'm up in the air installing stuff, and he's down on the ground doing measurements, cutting stuff, and handing like, okay, I need a pipe. It needs to be bent like this, and then it's got to have a kit. So like, there's not enough. You know, we get paid a lot, and the materials are expensive. We can't just keep making mistakes and I ruined this one. I'll just grab another one and start all over. That takes time, and it takes material. So I like to think I try to be as precise as possible with language, and I think I come off as a jerk a lot at work because I'll say to my partner that you're not answering my question. Do you understand? Like, because a lot of the guys would be like, oh, we take this, we put this over here, we throw it up on the wall. I'm like, you know, I need to know how high, I need to know, are we going vertical, horizontal? You know what I mean? And then I repeat everything back to my partner in the words that I want. Mm-hmm. You know, and after about a week or so, I think people, but anyway, I was proud of the fact that I used words and I got this complicated 2-page spread that looks like 90% exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Do you understand like why I'm proud of myself? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you ever do that? You have this super complicated design, and then you see it colored, drawn, and it's like, oh my God, I imagined this, and then 3 or 4 other people made it happen the way I wanted. It's so cool. Like Vinny over here. Vinny, he's a wonderful artist. This guy,
yeah, he's fantastic. Vinny is fantastic.
He just makes it. You know what I mean? Like I'm filtering my ideas through 3 other people. Mm-hmm. So I understand it's going to be a little different. You know what I mean? Sure. It's going to be 1 person different. It's going to be 2 people different, 3 people different. Mm-hmm. And Vinny, man, I this guy's so freaking talented. You know. And Vinny, anytime you want to come back and talk about your stuff, you got a campaign, hit me up.
Yeah, he launched his own campaign.
Yep. Vinny, I enjoyed talking with Vinny. I got his books. Such a good artist. Vinny, if you want to do a cover or something, let me know. That would be great.
Yeah, same here, man.
Women.
Same here.
Yeah. So what's next? So this is the end of Perfect 10 for now. Are you going to put her on the side and do Safeguard and then come back?
Yeah, we are now doing Safeguard. So we are focusing on getting the Perfection Collection done. So I get updates from Critical Blast and I provide some feedback. We talk about it. We make some edits, changes, and I think that book will be completed this month. And then they will ship those out, print it, and ship them. Meanwhile, I'm working with Alan Goldman on Safeguard.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. I've seen all the pencils that you shared that look so good.
Yeah, it's and it's really cool to work with him. With him also has a very different way of working. So every dynamic with every artist is different. So
Right.
sometimes it takes some getting used to in the beginning. I have to maybe write things a little bit differently for one artist and for the other one. But these are things you figure out while you go. And Alan is really professional. He's really cool to work with, and he already signed on for 3 issues for Safeguard.
Nice.
So after this one, I hope we can continue. But yeah, it's looking really cool. And Safeguard, I just can't help it. It's another book with like a million characters. It's crazy. So Safeguard, they are with 7. Then you have some side characters, and then you have the villains, which are also 7. Brand new, created for the Safeguard book. It wasn't like I had this huge catalog with the villains to choose from. No, we had to make new ones. Ridiculous. But we did it. So
It's
each
fun.
of them.
It's
Yeah,
fun coming up with characters. I love coming up with characters.
yeah, it is fun. It is fun. But you have to. So we had to design all of them from scratch. So Safeguard went a lot of work into that before we even got to make the first page. Because you have to create all these characters. But yeah,
when I'm working like with I said Renzo or Arkham a script, they usually get excited and they do the first page. Okay, so you did the first page. Okay, now how about I said let's do character sketches of, because I like to do trading cards with each comic. So like draw the character, like we'll flesh out the characters, and then I usually send the artist a very terrible drawing of my characters. I forget Arkham if I sent you terrible drawings, but I know I sent them to Brian when I offered him the story at first, and then I get the sketches back, and then we turn those sketches into the cards. Do you do anything like that? Like how does Pow, like when you had Perfect 10, did you make sketch cards of her before you even started drawing the story, or did you design her costume, or did he design her costume?
Okay, so 10 went through several designs. It was very difficult to get her right, and the first design was completely different than what she looks now.
Is that going to be in the book? I'm just curious of like her previous designs.
No, but if you scroll down.
Okay, scroll down.
1 sec. I need to plug in my computer. It's telling me. 1 sec.
I'm scrolling all the way down. Oh, you got trading cards. You get this. Oh, right. Hey, look, I know that guy. Perfect 10's the best.
Yeah. This energizes me, man. The feedback that people give.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah,
I know that guy, Vaughn. Oh, Brian Bow. We were just talking about him. There we go.
Brian Bow, by the way, he also wrote the foreword for the Perfection Collection.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good. He I'd be remiss in my duty if I didn't say that Brian Bow has a wonderful comic called Wolf and Betsy.
Yes.
I freaking love that comic. It's the first time I ever commissioned art when I saw Wolf and Betsy.
Oh, there you go, John. The deleted edition. So this was a idea from Critical Blast. So we discussed what we wanted in the Perfection Collection, because it's not just like the comics, but it's also some extra material like designs and some pinups, maybe, and they said you also have material that never got published. Or I have like deleted scenes. Some scenes are fully made, so actually drawn, inked, colored, the whole shebang, and then I remove them from the story because I got different plans.
Oh my God!
Yes, these things happen, and these pages are never published because they're not canon. They're not. They're like deleted scenes for a reason, right? and Critical Blast said you have to publish those. We make a secondary book, some sort of add-on to the Perfection Collection with everything that you cut out. And this book will be 32 pages. So it's 32 pages with deleted scenes, and but it also includes fully made pinups of 10 before she looked like she looks now. So this was even before
cool.
Before Pau started to draw the first page. I had designed 10 which looked completely different, right? And I was so convinced of that design that I even commissioned people to do pinups with it. But she never so she changed later on. So these pinups have been.
It's not like a woman's prerogative. She changes her outfit and then you start all over again.
Yeah, the hair and everything. Yes.
Yeah, we're all ready to go out to the restaurant. You got to go change your outfit.
Women, right? Yeah. But yeah, but I never expected to do anything with these files, and I sent them over to Critical Blast, and they put them together in this deleted edition.
Oh, I don't know. I got to get the deleted edition. I got to check to see if I did this.
Oh. And that book will also be hardcover, so it will be in the same format as the the Perfection Collection. So it's kind of this little add-on to the Perfection Collection.
Cool. Yeah, I Arkham, if you're listening, save your sketches, because I want to do like a Long Box Comics or Heroic Tales art book that's just gonna have like sketches and pinups that people did. Are you getting fan art? I got some fan art
put in. Fan art. Yeah, I try to work them in the Perfection Collection. So people can see the kind of stuff that we receive, which is crazy. It's so cool. I'm so proud when I receive that. I love that.
Yeah. I have a letters page too. So Dave, I would love if I got a letter from Dave Brink in my to publish. Just a fan letter.
Yeah.
That goes for everybody. We got a lot of people watching. Write a fan letter to Heroic Males at yahoo.com, because we're putting together I want to say 2 comics, and now Tonic Mole is. I was like, hey Tonic, how's it going for Eddie is Doomed? You got any pages? He goes, any pages? I'm almost done. He showed me 1 page, and now he's almost done. I was like, yeah, that 1 page is great, So what I get is that's how it is when you work with some artists. They just work at a breakneck, frantic speed.
Yeah. Sometimes you get pages without even seeing the layouts. It's just
that's exactly what happened. He showed me the layouts for page 1. I said, that's great. All right, and then you're almost done. And I have a secret project that I don't talk about too much because I don't want to get egg on my face if it collapses.
Oh.
But this artist, I gave him a 13-page story. It was going to be a part of Heroic Tales, and he said, "Nah, this is great." And I'm working on it. It's 24 pages. It'll be inked, colored, lettered, and everything. So I'm just going to get a full comic one of these days. All I saw was a couple of character sketches. But this guy is so good, I trust him more than me.
Okay, so it's not by your request. It's just the way that he works.
Yeah, well, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like nervous, happy, excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It was written specifically for this person, and I'm honored that he liked it as much as he did. So that's the only information. It's a guy.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. This also how Alan Goldman works. I discovered. I send him the script, and then he sends me a message. Hey Dave, page 5 is in your mail. And I'm what? I haven't seen any layouts, nothing, right? And just fully drawn. And this is always scary because what if something needs to be changed and it's fully drawn? You feel so. Yeah.
Arkham says he has some sort of anxiety. Hey, I put up a good front. I get nervous too. Like, what if nobody likes it? You know what I mean? Like, I put out this comic and it doesn't sell. But like, I'm a rookie. I have 2 comic books out here that, don't consider that whenever I talk. You know what I mean? I'm a rookie. This is Arkham's first comic. Together, we're working together to make something. You know what I mean? Like, Arkham, by the time we're doing our 4th story, I'm going to say something and you're going to go, yeah, I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got partners at work that, like, by the time I'm about to ask them for something, they already got it prepared. You know what I mean? But, and then Renzo just sent me a page while I was driving home. It came up. So I was at a red light and I had to look at it. And while I was at the red light, I said, that's great. That's wonderful. That's so good. But by the time I got home, I realized that the last panel was wrong.
Oh, no.
And I always feel so bad, especially after I say that's great. Perfect. That looks, so I got to stop doing that. I got to wait till I get home, sit down with my cup of coffee. So I said, oh, no, the last panel doesn't work because of X, Y, and Z. And Renzo's like, okay, cool. Within 20 minutes, he fixed it because I always forget he does digital. He could just wipe out something and then reinsert something else. I'm thinking like, it's like he's got to put white out on the page, cut out the page, glue another page. You know what I mean? Like they used to do back in old Marvel.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil Diaz is here. Well, we'll bring
Phil.
This is another guy. He's check out the Man with No Strings. If any, like Vinny, Arkham, Zaid, if you guys have links you want me to put in here, private message me on Twitter and I'll be happy to put the links because unfortunately I didn't make you moderators. But Vinny, Arkham, Zaid, anybody, if you have links while I'm live, put it in the message me on Twitter. I always have Twitter loaded and I could just throw them in here.
I
Zaid has, the Man with No Strings. He's printing it himself. He writes it. I think he has an artist. Your artist isn't your brother, right? Okay, so he's starting Hitman tonight. One of my favorite comic book series. Let me know. It starts off slow. Around I think the Mafia stories where it really, really picks up. Because he was new to DC Comics, so he had a lot of editors at first, and after a while they just left him alone. And it just so. Have you ever read DC's Hitman comic?
No.
It's one
of my good.
One of my favorite comics. Okay, let's see. I know it's early for you. Do you have to go or anything? Because I can.
No. I my day is just starting right now.
Okay. Anything else you want to say? I've been talking too much, and this is supposed to be your time.
I was just trying to put Vinny's link in the chat right now.
Oh, okay.
So let me do that for a moment.
Oh, he just sent me a link. I'll gladly throw it in here. Oh, it's funny. I just looked at my talk with Vinny, and my last thing I said to him was the link to our talk.
Right. Yeah, but yeah. Thank you. By the way, for inviting me to showcase this campaign.
Oh, anytime. A rising tide floats all boats, and you making wonderful comic books. Not to sound like a jerk, it only helps me. You know what I mean? Like now I'm like, yeah, I know this guy. He makes great comics. This is what crowdfunding does. You know what I mean? If we promote people that actually, I hit the wrong link. If we promote people that actually make great comics, they're on time, they're professional. It helps each other. You know what I mean? Like. I don't want to mention names and I don't want to start drama. That's not the intent of this. But there's a lot of bad actors and there's a lot of people that made crowdfunding look bad. I have a lot of people that'll send me messages, man, your comic looks good, but I'm not buying it until after the comic is already being sold. And I say to them, well, thank you for still wanting to buy my comic, and I totally understand. But that kind of hurts the campaign. You know what I mean? Because I print based on what people pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if I get 600 pre-orders, I'll have more afterwards. If I get 200 pre-orders, I might not have enough, to or I have to print again, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So guys like you guys like the Diaz brothers, Zaid Comics, Vinny, guys that actually make their comics, get them out. They're good comics. They're well drawn. They're well written. Man, first off, I love it. Second off, a rising tide floats all boats, man. Like I could brag to people. Yeah, I'm on Fund My Comic with guys like Phil Diaz. I'm on Fund My Comic with guys like Dave Brink. You know what I mean? Graham Nolan's on Fund My Comic. My comic book is right next to Graham Nolan's on Fund. You know what I mean? I get to say stuff like that. Or maybe when somebody's looking for Graham Nolan, they'll see Perfect 10, or they'll see The Patriarch, they'll see Mary Sue. So like a rising, Graham and Orr kind of thing. I really do believe that.
Yeah, I posted something a few days ago about there being less promotion shows nowadays than there were a few years back, and that created a lot of response came from that, because it's a simple fact. So everyone has their theories, but I do think that the scene got a little bit it got less fun, I think, by some people.
I agree. It got more drama farming. I think as certain people, everybody knows what I'm talking about, but I'm not trying to. I'm trying to move away from that kind of stuff. But as some people were deflecting because they weren't producing, and I think it just poisoned the entire well. And I think we unfortunately, guys like me and you have to pick up the slack and produce more and be friendlier and help people, because I don't want the scene to die. And I hate to say it on a promotion show, but I do think the scene's dying, and I think it's getting, people are leaving and they're not coming back. That I don't care. The numbers are showing that a certain faction isn't selling the way it used to, and it's their own damn fault. So, what do you want me to do? I'm the guys that do.
Some of the theories that came back from my observation was that it was because economical factors and stuff like that. But I don't see any decline in shows about mainstream comics or movies or games or board games. These scenes are just growing even. So why just indie comics? It's because it's no longer fun. People want to promote. They want to be part of something that's cool. That's fun. That they promote things because they want to promote it. So you have to nurture that.
And I also think like shells are forming. Like the Rippaverse guys. I'm friendly with them. The Rippaverse guys come by, they watch my channel, and they'll say something. This more, but other faction, they close the door on Rippa, or they close the door on Genuine Comics or Longbox Comics. You know what I mean? And it's like, great. We're still chugging along. Like look at what's his name. I can't think of it. Doug Teneples.
Oh yeah,
he's going great. Polito, Brian Polito. He's still chugging along, no drama, just churning out 3 to 4 comics a year. I think he's doing. That is awesome. I know we can't do monthly. I know we couldn't do monthly. It's just not the way it works anymore. We're not pulling in the numbers that I could hire somebody to just do 8 hours a day drawing a comic.
Yeah.
Everybody that I'm working with has another job. I have another job. I don't know. Now I'm rambling, and I'm getting a little too negative. I didn't want to get negative.
No, I'm sorry, man.
But I wanted to say this is Vinny's campaign, Dead City. Vinny, I know I'm stealing from Dave Brink's time, right?
Oh, 3K, that's great, man.
But I haven't seen Vinny in a while, and I love his artwork.
Yeah, it's so good. I have his first book. I have that.
Yeah,
great.
Too. Vinny was on my channel. He was a lot of fun. Talks like a New Yorker. I appreciated that. And I all I can imagine is this art style, this coloring for like Mary Sue or the Go Getter. You know what I mean? This would just be beautiful.
His anatomy is very much appreciated.
Yeah. What did he say? Thank you guys. I didn't know so many books were launching this week. Yeah, because it's like tax time. The Christmas holidays are over.
Crazy week, yeah.
So this, like campaign season is upon us. I every page is cover quality. Absolutely. I like Patriarch #1. I'm gonna have it finished before I even launch the campaign. Because I feel let people, like right now you're waiting for a comic you don't know you're waiting for, you know what I mean? So by the time I have the campaign, everybody, I'm going to do the Scotty from Star Trek way of things. You know, Scotty only needs 2 hours, but he tells Captain Kirk he needs 6, and then Captain Kirk goes 4, and he's like, I'm going to get it done in 2, and he's going to think I'm a genius. So that's what I'm doing. I want to finish the book. You know, people don't realize that they're waiting, you know, right now because I did. But once you announce it, people can't help it. The clock is going.
Yeah, you lock yourself into this. You have a project, and then it's official. Once your campaign is up,
official, people like, oh man, and oh, he's late now. He's late now. Those are arbitrary. You know what I mean? Because so now I'm going to be done, and then I'm going to launch King Fu Blue Christmas. It's going to be Chris, and I want to get it in people's hands by Christmas. So that one I'm going to launch like when we have a cover and a couple of pages, because it's a short story, and then I'm going to talk to RJ from Critical Blast and have him fulfill it, because he'll have it out in a week, so everybody will get it as soon as it's done. You've worked with him before, right?
With Critical Blast?
Yeah.
He's doing fulfillment for this comic. For all our comics basically. And they're also printing and publishing the Perfection Collection. That's all them. So they also produce the Perfect 10 Artist Edition. That's from Critical Blast. You see, that's their logo. This is their publication, and the Perfection Collection will be this format.
Oh, look at that
hardcover, and this is a big book, right? This is 136 pages, but the Perfection Collection will be bigger. That's 192.
I got to talk
at the very least.
I got to talk to. I fulfilled my first 2 campaigns, and it's satisfying, and I enjoyed doing it. But I felt bad because people were getting the comic. Well, people, I'm sorry. People were getting the comic, while other people still waited a month, and I just felt bad. But I'm a one-man operation, so
so it's quality. So I had things printed through Critical Blast, which is fantastic. It doesn't cost me any time. It's they take care of everything. They make sure people get it, which is awesome. And they now keep me updated with the production of the Perfection Collection. So we talk about that. We have some meetings about that, and then it'll be a fantastic book, guys. It'll be my biggest achievement ever in my humble career.
And then your next is Safeguard. Safeguard is a team book. And do you know what's after Safeguard? Are you that far ahead?
I have some side things going on, but Safeguard became a bigger project than I thought.
That seems to be a pattern with you.
Yeah. So for now it's Safeguard, and I noticed that I was doing too much, so I kind of scaled down. So I'm now focusing on Safeguard, get that made, and after that I will see what I want to do. But for now I just needed for things to calm a little bit down. I had too many projects going on, and it got me a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Well, I got to go to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. But I definitely wanted to help you out. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do my Sunday comics, and then I'm going to go right to work. So, anything you want to say on the way out?
I just want to thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me your time and your platform.
I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy your comic, and I enjoy helping people promote it. It's fun. Comics are fun. They're supposed to be fun. We in the indie sphere, we need to make it fun. I don't know why some people just aren't making it fun. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
We're
what's
talking
the
about
point?
we're talking about super beings flying through space and elves and dwarves and dragons and robots. Why are we fighting with each other?
Yeah, for some creators, it's about the creators, and for us, it's just about the books.
I don't want to talk about me. I'm boring. Right? I want to talk about Mary Sue. I want to talk about like Mary Sue and top perfect 10 just going out and beating up bad guys, getting their clothes ripped. That's what I want to talk about. You know what I mean?
They're winning formula, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk about me? You know, I don't get it. I write stories because I'm boring in real life. I go to work, I drive to work, I come home, I work on my boiler, I feed the stray cats with my wife. That's what you want to, you want to fight about that? Go ahead. And there's so many people in the comic book indie scene that don't make comics. They don't. All they do is fight with other people. Like I don't get it. I just don't get it. So I made a New Year's resolution to stop all that stuff, and I'm getting dangerously close to it right now. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop.
All right.
But yeah, if you've never seen Dave Brink before, if this is the first time, you could get all 6 issues of Perfect 10. It's the best superhero story. It's the best superhero comic right now.
Oh, plus, guys, I have almost my entire catalog as add-ons. So any book you're still missing, throw it in there. Throw it in with your order, and you will get it.
I'm a completionist. I went and I got everything by Genuine Comics. I got all your comics. All right. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks a lot, everybody. Check it out, and good luck, Dave. Come on back. You're always welcome. And Vinny, come on back whenever you want.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
It's time to say goodbye, kids.
Goodbye, kids.